Your NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Bill Callahan fan club president, Jake Bakoven.
I love Billy C.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bob. Hold up.
Just imagine 3 weeks from now, we'll be getting on the block and wrapping up talking about Nebraska and Northwestern. Hopefully Nebraska beating Northwestern in Dublin over the weekend. That's how close we are. And, of course, we've got plenty of Husker football coverage for you today. Coach Shenander spoke after the practice today, as well as some of the other defensive players. So we'll break all that down today on the block. Again, I'm Jake Bakoven. He is the Husker Hall of Famer, longtime NBA vet, Eric Strickland, and we are on the block. We're with you every weekday here from 4 to 6 p.m. Midwest Central Time, I should say. Let's jump right in. We finished up the Ticket Water Cooler, of course, with Strick doing a little bit of the crossover, one of his best crossovers I've seen in his career. We finished up asking just if there is anybody that you think could replace Lee Corso on College Game Day. Now, it's not like he's being forced off or anything like that, but he did turn 87 years old yesterday, actually, and he's been kind of minimized a little bit. At certain times, not traveling with the group, other times just not being up there as much. Of course, his selection, his mascot selection at the end is what College Game Day is all about and what we've known to come and love. I'm not sure if that part can be replaced, but they do need they do need to start kind of thinking about who would take over. Of course, they've had added some other guys. Chris Fowler kind of stepped away a few years ago. Desmond Howard and David Pollock kind of getting more prominent on there. Of course, Kirk Herbstreit's on there as usual.
Whatever happened to Chris, the former Cincinnati Bengal?
Chris, who's that?
The wide receiver.
Was he on College Game Day?
No.
He
was NFL.
Cincinnati
I thought
Bengal.
he was pretty good. Chris. What is Chris's name?
Is that his first name or his last name?
402-464-5685. Good, tall. He was a tall, lanky wide receiver.
Chris Collinsworth?
Oh,
Chris Collinsworth. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Chris
He's
Collinsworth?
That wouldn't be a bad idea. He's over with NBC right now, but
he's pretty good.
Yeah. I always liked Chris Collinsworth. That wouldn't be a bad choice there. We did have some other guys, people off the text line, which you can always chime in on the text line.
Crowbait's hilarious.
Yeah, we'll get to yours in a second. 402-464-5685. If you want to give us your replacements for Lee Corso when he eventually has to step down on College Game Day. Somebody texts in and says the only answer is Sipple. Well, Sipple would be a great choice. He's actually going to join us at 5:25. Maybe we can ask if he's had any communication there. Of course, when Lee Corso steps down. Crowbait says Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart work?
How would that work?
He's more of a celebrity guest picker.
He would be a guest.
I don't know how much he knows about football.
I think Sandman has a wonderful take. The only one that I think can get close to the Chucky face is Bo Pelini.
Oh, yeah, Bo Pelini.
He is the closest one that can get close to the Chucky face in college. Let me just say that.
He might start yelling at somebody. I mean, I could see him they have to get him off TV.
Yeah, it would get heated.
You have to, keep your hand on the dump button there if you're working in production. Somebody also off the text line says, I loved college football final with him and Lou Holtz. The court skit they did was hilarious. Yeah, I wish college football final was awesome back in the day with Mark May and Lou Holtz. Yeah, that'd be nice to bring that back too.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I would be up for something like that. I'm really trying to think. Like my mind is trying to figure out who could have just the energy and the charisma that he brought to the game. He reminds me of gosh, I can't remember his name either, but he could go all the way.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Chris Berman.
Chris Berman, man.
Back.
There's no one like Chris Berman.
That's right.
And he needs to be. He's the one that I think should be there.
An OG of ESPN.
OG of ESPN.
Though I never, maybe it's just because of my age. Maybe did it back in the day. I don't really correlate him with college football. Did he? Do you remember him doing too much college football?
Not really, but I would
NFL
love.
guy.
Yeah, he's an NFL. I would love just the energy he brings. I would love to see somebody like him.
But you do wonder too, and as we got some other ideas here, Pecan Pie says Barry Switzer. Jim in Lincoln says Snoop Dogg. Yeah, Gary says BJ. I think BJ could do it. Gary says Carrot Top. Rubber Duck
that would be hilarious.
Says Joel Klatt or Gus Johnson. Yeah, take some of those guys over with Fox. Drunk Luke says replace Corso with Pat McAfee. Already been on multiple times. That's kind of that's to me the most realistic option out of all of them. He's making a lot of money on his podcast. He was kind of just doing the media rounds the last few years, just kind of jumping everywhere. He now does WWE commentating as well, but that makes a lot of sense because I could see when you pass along the giant oversized mascot head pick, right? I mean, that's the one thing. All this other stuff, they've got it covered. You know, everybody else can do the picks, and but you know, they're not so fast. I mean, there's certain things you're not going to replicate. Only if you were going to honor. And obviously be showing that you were showing respect to Corso. But as far as the mascot pick at the end, you need somebody, and Pat McAfee is one guy that I could see have enough energy that he would really engage the crowd and get them going with that. So I think that it's got to be done gracefully, and you have to find the right type of guy if you're going to pass on the mascot pick at the end.
And you know, like somebody said Snoop Dogg. I think Snoop Dogg would actually, he's funny. I had a good time watching him on those celebrity fights when he was doing boxing. Oh yeah. Like stay there. I don't think him crossing over for football. I think it would be very slow and you know, oh yeah, he made a really good catch there. Yeah, sideline grab, you know. Snoop Doggy Dog, you know. I just couldn't see him bringing that type of energy that of course over.
Did you ever hear him commentating? They did this on I think Jimmy Kimmel, where he would just like watch little bits of like National Geographic or like animals doing stuff. And he didn't know what he was really talking about, but he'd keep talking because he's Snoop. Yeah. And it was just wildly entertaining.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like Rob Dyrdek's type movie where he's commentating on stuff that's going on like his show Ridiculous. Or something like that. Yeah. That's where I think he would be most funny. Just natural commentary on just regular stuff that's happening in people's life. It just seems like he would, you know, slide off into the zone.
Oh, you definitely do that. Dirty Toady and the boys says Huskers' own Will Compton would be great too. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah. Maybe he's kind of on his path of moving up in the world as far as a commentator, although his playing career is still got somewhat of a heartbeat. I think he's a free agent right now, but he always gets picked up by one of his two teams that seems to have built a pretty good chemistry with him and can rely on him to come in and jump in on special teams. So that's kind of interesting. Again, a few more. Tim Miles, Doug and Lincoln says Rob Riggle says somebody off the text line. So a lot of fun stuff there. Somebody off the text line says, I love the show. I love Strick and Bach, but I have to be honest and say that Snoop Dogg would turn off most of America.
That's why I didn't. I think we're in agreement. We don't think he should be there on that specific place. I think there is a space for him, you know, as far as like, I'm telling you, he was hilarious in the boxing realm. When Nate
Diaz?
No,
that's UFC.
Nate the bastard Robinson.
Yeah.
When Nate Robinson got put to sleep, like he looked like he was on Special Victims or on SVU or whatever.
Yeah, get the chalk tape.
The chalk tape around. That was hilarious. The memes that came out of that. I think I'd have went to Tibet or something like that. I would have become a Tibetan monk if I would have got laid to sleep like that on national TV. You probably would never see Stricky again. I would be shaved head with the robe on, and I would be twirling the thing that makes the noise up there. And you know, if you watch 2012, you know what I'm talking about.
Are you into the celebrity boxing thing? Are you still interested?
Oh no.
No.
I really don't get too into it. I mean, I'm not pay-per-viewing it. I mean, if I happen to be sitting around, it's entertaining. And from that standpoint, I still think it's all hype. And I'm sad to say that allegedly, that I don't think boxing is real to me. It's become very wrestling, WWE.
You think so?
I just don't think. I think people are propped up. I think people are put in place. I think judges, I've seen fights where I was like, there's no way this guy won.
Yeah.
And they end up winning because it's whoever they propped up or whatever the case may be, and they're looking for the next big fight. Those are the things that I hate about it. I will say that made me more of a UFC fan as far as, hand-to-hand combat type stuff. That made me a UFC fan because I just started watching boxing and started
it started to turn you off.
It started to turn me off.
Yeah, it's hard to fake some of the UFC stuff so much. Somebody off the text line again says Scott Van Pelt, so that's another one to consider. Going back to boxing though, I am interested. There's very few, like, I don't know how many celebrities would entertain me, but Adrian Peterson against Le'Veon Bell, which was set up, but I think it got postponed because the main event kind of got pulled or whatever. I don't know how many would make you buy the pay-per-view. That's the problem, is you got to actually spend the money on it. If there's a former Husker boxing, I might go do it. If you were boxing, Strick.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Listen, I'm going to leave it to Frank Gore, who's knocking people out right now. I'm going to let Frank Gore handle that business, not Smoke. Listen, I love the technical aspects of it. I love, the intensity, the work that is required. I think it is a tremendous sport that you have to work all elements of your body in order to be tuned in for that. Legs, core, lungs, just the whole thing. But at the end of the day, it is not my cup of tea, my guy.
Yeah. Well, that's
because I think I fight dirty.
You think you would?
Yeah, I fight dirty. There may be a Tyson moment. There might be Tyson moments all in that, yeah.
Well, hey, you shouldn't have too many worries about concussions. You didn't have too many concussions over the years, did you? You left football.
I had a couple.
Did you?
A couple.
In basketball?
Basketball related.
Yeah.
That's just because my
high
jumping ability.
That's right, high flying.
You get undercut a little bit, and you just, it just all slows down for you. It's very Matrix-like. It slows down when the undercut moment happens, and all you know is you're on your back, and I got nowhere to go. I got to take it. And you just figure out a way to take it without breaking arms and wrists and doing Gary Payton II and stuff like that, sticking arms down. You just try to figure out a way to land shoulder, back, head up, just some way to where, but every now and then you get a clack on the head and you end up in the concussion protocol. Protocols were a little bit different back then. You might be able to go to a locker room, have a little discussion, tell them you don't see stars, and go back out there. It's a little bit different protocols nowadays.
What city are you in? Omaha? That's close enough. He's pretty much good.
Right.
He flew into Omaha. We can see why he's confused.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder, with that stuff over the years, especially with, just concussions in general, of course, the movie Concussion and all the NFL stuff that's gone on. I've got a son of my own. And I do I wonder, I love football, but I wonder at some point, what age do you let them play? When how many concussions is probably too much to call it.
Yeah.
And it's all stuff we don't have quite figured out, but it obviously has been,
the equipment's gotten better.
They've limited special teams even because of the worries of it in football. So it's changed the game. It's how much it's kind of affected things. But we'll kind of see down the line where that goes. But they certainly can't imagine a world without football. So at least there's that.
How do you view this? Do you think Jake Paul is ruining the sport, as Kyle W. would say on the text line? Do you think he's ruining boxing?
I think,
or do you think he's you think he's the Flavor Flav of boxing, basically the hype man?
There's an element of it that's actually doing better selling these celebrity boxing matches. But for the purists, I mean, because when you watch Nate Robinson go out there, he trained for I don't know how long he trained, 6 months or whatever, but it's not somebody that really has dedicated their life to build up and to get on the marquee to be able to fight and knows technical boxing. So if you're talking about technical boxing, yeah, probably. But at the same time, boxing hasn't been what it used to be in forever. So I don't know if him coming along and somewhat pumping it a little bit, giving it a heartbeat with not the best of the boxing world, but at least selling some tickets. I think it's revived it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say too. But I know we got to get to a break in a second. Shout out to my brother, my friend, my teammate, one of the best hustlers that ever come through Nebraska that played alongside me. He was a rock. We call him the Chubb Rock. Bruce Chubbick, happy birthday, my friend. Shout out to you, Bruce Chubbick. You turned 49. Lies. Way to go, Bruce. You crossed over the threshold, man. Happy birthday to you, man. Here, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We are on the block, and we'll be back right after messages like this.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
From selling a home to even building one, you're doing a lot and need a lender who can help you do it. Like Kelsey Fluhop of Security First Bank.
As a mortgage loan officer, I value my customers and work to make the mortgage process easy and even rewarding.
Mortgage lending from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 505011 and 1730635.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Not headed to Dublin to watch the Nebraska football season opener? Don't worry, we've got you covered. You can tailgate and watch the game right here. Join 93.7 The Ticket, Ambition Electric, and Steve's Garage Doors here in our parking lot for a tailgate and watch party. Joe from Ambition Electric will be serving breakfast and lunch while our hosts get you ready for the game with the Ticket Tailgate pregame show. And best of all, it's all free. The Nebraska Northwestern Tailgate and Watch Party. August 27th, beginning at 9 a.m. right here in our parking lot at 330 North 48th Street. Brought to you by Ambition Electric and Steve's Garage Doors.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Cloud cover this morning should give way to partly sunny skies this afternoon. Much more comfortable. We'll top out at around 84. Winds turning out of the north-northeast at around 10. Overnight mainly clear with a low down to around 60. A seasonable day on the way for our Tuesday. Tomorrow's high around 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're right back here with you on a Monday on the block on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jake Buckman. He is Eric Strickland. And we're covering all things sports, all things that we can find. Of course, Husker football practice happened today. They had a post-game quotes from Brent, or I don't know what. Sorry, I was trying to communicate with the producer over there. We had Shenander. We'll have Sip at 5:25 is when we're giving him a call. Nick, all right, maybe let him know we're trying to get him up. There we go. We just excellent communication to start here. But in any case, let's get into this our topic for now, which is a little bit of clarity coming out from the Cale Gundy situation. If you didn't see it over the weekend, Cale Gundy, the longest tenured assistant in the Big 12. He has been with Oklahoma, from the Bob Stoops days into the Lincoln Riley days, and Brent Venables kept him along. He's been everything from a wide receiver coach, running back coach, assistant head coach, and he stepped down because of saying, I forget the way he said it. He says reading a shameful word. So he was having film study or whatever. The players were supposed to take notes. He grabbed one of the players' iPads and just read song lyrics, I believe is what it was. Whatever was on the iPad of the player. And we didn't know for a while. You're just kind of like trying to read the tea leaves. Like, what does that mean? Is it racially charged? Because what else is really going to cause somebody to resign here? And then Brent Venables, Oklahoma head coach. Of course, Nebraska plays Oklahoma, so this is kind of interesting even in Nebraska standards. Brent Venables ended up saying, releasing a statement, and I'll read it here again for you. He said, as painful as it has been dealing with Coach Gundy resigning from the program, it doesn't touch the experience of pain felt by a room full of young men I am charged to protect, lead, and love. There are a few things I would like to address. Coach Gundy resigned from the program because he knows what he did was wrong. He chose to read aloud to his players not once, but multiple times, which is kind of new information for us here, but I'll continue with the statement. Not once, but multiple times, a racially charged word that is objectionable to everybody and does not reflect the attitude and values of our university or our football program. This is not acceptable, period. Coach Gundy did the right thing in resigning. He knows our goals for excellence and that coaches have special responsibilities to set an example. He also knows that while he will always be a part of the OU family, that his words affected many of us and did not represent the principles of our university. Again, his resignation was the right thing to do, and we will move forward positively. It's interesting because Cale Gundy's initial response was less detailed. So again, you didn't know. Sounded like he said, maybe read a lyric, a word that was offensive, but, maybe didn't have time to kind of think about it. So it was kind of weird. It was like, is he resigning? Was he forced to resign? Is he doing this on his own accord? Does he not want to be a distraction to the players? And you can see here clearly, at least Venables was on the side of you need to resign. This is not something that's acceptable. And certainly I think, when you kind of think about that reading lyric or whatever in a room full of players. Usually you don't, I was kind of thinking at first, maybe a slap on the wrist, maybe you suspend him for a game or whatever the case may be. I mean, we've had situations here at Nebraska where a coach gets a DUI and he's still on the team. I mean, they're seemingly maybe things that are a little bit more dangerous or, could send a bad message more than this. Of course, we don't know the exact details here. Again, now knowing that it was racially charged, we all kind of expected that. But do you see this as something that would be problematic? Do you think, or is if it's only problematic to a few players on the team, is that enough to make the guy resign?
Well, let's be honest about this. He's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He's touched Adrian Peterson. He's touched greatness.
Oh yeah.
He's not only had good talent, but he's also coached him up. I mean, he took a JUCO transfer in Damian Williams, who ended up turning out to be a second team all Big Ten honors. He's taking receivers like Sterling Shepard, who kind of were marginal, but became great under his tutelage. I mean, he's a good coach.
All the skill position players you could think about Oklahoma the last 20 years.
Exactly.
He's been involved with, including their running back coach DeMarco Murray right now.
Exactly. So when you look at it from that standpoint, you let's not take that, for granted. He's a good coach. But what was said about him was that one of his former players came out on his behalf and spoke quite loudly, which was Joe Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon came out and said he understands kind of how everything went, but at the end of the day, he recognizes that and wanted it to be known that he in no form or shape or fashion is, racist by any means. We live in a very sensitive time. Unfortunately, right? Everything you do, you're on eggshells. I have to be honest, because I went to the store today and there was a young lady, and it's hard to get a hold to it. And I'm not making an excuse for this, but I'm just saying this is the type of life we're living right now.
Mm-hmm.
The young lady kind of was dressed looking boyish.
Mm-hmm.
And me, as a former officer's son, I tend to address people, hey, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
Not with any intent or malcontent to it. That's just part of my, asking me a question. No, ma'am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I sensed, I can read the room a little bit, but I sensed there was some apprehension to me.
You might have said the wrong
saying,
word.
ma'am.
Yeah.
And shoot, today, people, if you don't call them a Blue Jay, what? You look like yours is a Blue Jay or a Cardinal? How am I supposed to?
Right.
It's
Pronouns,
crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I to each his own. I'm not coming against it. I'm just saying it makes it difficult because I just happened to sense it. I apologized and was like, hey, and I think I just said something bland like, just thank you, or just something to where I didn't make reference to who you, because I mean, shoot, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I can sense their energy changed, based on what I said. So that's what I think is going on now. I mean, yes, it was stated. I don't think there was, malcontent to it. But then at the end of the day, that can hinder what the future of Oklahoma football looks like. I think I'm over here not cheering, but I'm cheering, if I can say that, because that can throw some wrinkles in things, of how their wide receiver core responds and acts. And is it going to create some type of tension? They're a top 10 team right now.
Yeah.
We're going to get into the rankings. They're a top 10 team. If Nebraska can do what they're supposed to do, let me just say they need to do what they're supposed to, and they show up 3-0 against an Oklahoma team that's kind of dealing with some topsy-turvy issues internally, I would like to go with that smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm throwing stuff. Like I am talking on the line. I'm talking to the receivers, and I'm engaging. I want to get them mad, frustrated, forget their routes. I'm trying to do everything. That's what the Antlers used to do to us. They used to turn situations with us and put them on blast.
I don't know if we should be copying the Antlers. They have a pretty bad,
nasty.
Bad reputation.
They're nasty.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, as a player, right?
Yeah.
You always look for an advantage.
Right.
If I'm a DB across from you,
what am I going to say that gets you off your game?
I'm trying to stir you up.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not advocating, but I'm just saying that's gamesmanship. Internally, on the line, in the trenches, those are games. Don't think Deion Sanders and the likes of them didn't know what was going on in other people's, their receivers' lives or in their situations or with their marriages or whatever. They did not bring that stuff up. Those fights don't just spark that's on the field from just, you playing.
Yeah.
Stuff is being said.
There's words.
Let's just be honest about it.
Yeah. So it's interesting because, like you said, I mean, it's definitely a distraction for Venables. Yeah. And probably a foundation that they expected to keep around. Venables coached with Coach Gundy in the late 1999, 2000, when they were both part of that Oklahoma staff.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of bringing it all the way back around to then for Coach Venables. And again, he's been, kind of stable through both the regimes of Bob Stoops, which obviously was a long-lasting regime, and the Lincoln Riley one, which was a little bit shorter, but going into the third one there. So it's interesting. It certainly is interesting. A lot of his players kind of stepping up and saying they weren't a fit and he's a great coach and all that. But again, I feel like if there's just a few guys that are offended or didn't like it could cause a rift. So maybe you got to separate at that point.
And you have to address it. Unfortunately, you really do. You have to address it. I think he got ahead of it. I think it kind of keeps it pretty internal. And I think that Venables handled it, in the right manner. Unfortunately, you hate to lose a good coach like that.
Yeah.
I mean, can that be replaced as you're approaching the season? That's something that can't be done, right? I don't care what the sports analyst guy has. Those young men have established a relationship with,
right,
Coach Gundy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Coach Gundy has a way of motivating and getting into them and speaking to their heart. And, the other guy is just kind of going to come in and just be like, how does he walk into that room and gain the respect and the confidence of those players? And is he going to get the most out of them now that maybe Gundy could have gotten out of them?
Right.
It could be just about winning and maybe they just step up to themselves, but sometimes those things can throw wrinkles in your program.
And if you just joined us, we're talking about Kel Gundy, the Oklahoma assistant that got in trouble. Not Mike Gundy, the Oklahoma State head coach, who is actually the brother of Kel Gundy.
Kel Gundy, OU quarterback.
Former OU quarterback as well. Yeah, that's right. So if you wonder too, because I thought that too, is kind of thinking, why hasn't he joined his brother? Like, yeah, you would think after all these, he spent 20 years coaching against his brother.
Hates it.
Yes.
He hates that.
But he's a Sooner.
He's a Sooner.
Yeah.
He's not going down there.
What do you think about the player? This is the only, I kind of feel bad for
that. That would be like me going to Creighton.
Right.
I would do it because
hey, you're supposed to cover yourself. You're not getting faced with that sort of thing these days.
No.
Hey, Strick, if you were recruited today by top 10 Creighton in Nebraska, where would you go?
I'm out. I'm going to the Final Four, baby. I'm trying to win a game or two.
Hey, you're supposed to bleed Nebraska red over here until the end.
No, listen. I'm built differently, my boy.
You gotta win.
No. I'm trying to change the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm built differently. If I see the prospects of it, like for example, if I see the prospects of winning, I'm doing what Juwan Howard did at Michigan. I'm hunting the best of the best in my area, in my region. And don't think if I had AAU opportunities like they have now, I'm the best recruiter in that circuit, because I'm not only going to try to shut you down, I'm going to talk you up to like, okay, you ain't got to deal with Stricky if you just come on over here and work with Stricky.
Me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm putting out in the atmosphere. I'm like, you can run with Stricky instead of having to face this smoke. You know what I'm giving to you every day. You're going to see me on the next circuit too. If you don't want to see me, come on to Nebraska, baby. Let's go. I'm doing the Juwan Howard salesmanship. I'm trying to bring it here, baby.
At that point, they might not join you, but they're certainly not going to join your conference opponents. They don't want to see you.
They don't want to see Stricky, no.
So at least you got that. What I was going to ask, what do you think about the player? Obviously, his name hasn't been released, but the guy that wasn't doing his job instead had song lyrics on his iPad that led to Kel Gundy. You locker room rift there? Is that something after a few practices you just whatever?
That could spurn some ostracizing. amongst that player. Like, bro, you were the linchpin to making this all happen.
Yeah, because Cal Gundy seems seemingly very beloved.
Yeah,
almost by everybody in Norman.
Yeah,
but made this mistake here.
That could put you in ostracized mode.
Yeah,
that's kind of reminiscent of why Kobe became kind of who Kobe is, because Kobe did and broke some major bro codes when he began to tell the inner sanctum stuff of Shaquille O'Neal. That was part of their rift that they had, right? Because you just don't do that. And there are players that I think Russell,
D'Angelo Russell.
D'Angelo Russell did it.
You got Nick Young in trouble.
You know what I'm saying? You don't break those type of codes, bro, because you're like a fraternity when you come into those locker rooms. And it's the same in college sports. It's like a fraternity. And whatever goes on within this group structure, it should stay here. You know what I mean? In the same manner. So I think that could be an issue potentially. Maybe I would say keep an eye on whether or not he jumps in the transfer portal next year.
Yeah. Well, we don't know who it is. I'm sure
we don't know, but
I'm sure there's rumors going around Norman.
Watch wide receiver transfer portals. If you see one pop in there, just make an assumption that it might be him.
Yeah, there you go. That could be the case. Let's take a quick break here on the block. We're up against it, but it is time for your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. It is time for a shootout with Strick.
Oh!
We do it every day here on the block. Today, NFL preseason's already underway, so let's get a little refresher on our Huskers in the NFL. Preseason.
And hey, y'all stay off the Google.
Yeah, no Googling.
Y'all be cheating.
No Googling. NFL preseason is what we're talking about. But in any case, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline. First person to call in will get their chance at $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Just have to beat Strick in a shootout. We'll do that next year. Shootout with Strick on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV, well, let's just say it was definitely time for an upgrade. But finding a way wasn't so simple. And then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and was able to make those much-needed upgrades. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Nebraska fans, it's almost time for college football season. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln is a proud donor of Nebraska athletics. Brokers Insurance Agency is located at 33rd and A Streets in the heart of Lincoln. At Brokers, they can help you with all your insurance needs. Let them worry about your insurance so you have more time to enjoy the college football season. Call one of their licensed agents today at 402-420-5353 or visit their website at brokersinsuranceNE.com. Go Big Red.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Swing for the fences with single game tickets to see Lincoln's best lineup on and off the diamond. The Salt Dog season is stacked with reasons to spend your summer at Haymarket Park. Get a free general admission ticket when you donate 3 non-perishable food items on Triple Play Tuesdays. Eat $2 Fairbury brand dogs on Wiener Wednesdays. Score drink specials on Thirsty Thursdays. Then win your weekend with Firework Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days presented by Casey's. Get tickets at saltdogs.com.
Not headed to Dublin to watch the Nebraska football season opener? Don't worry, we've got you covered. You can tailgate and watch the game right here. Join 93.7 The Ticket, Ambition Electric, and Skeeves Garage Doors here in our parking lot for a tailgate and watch party. Joe from Ambition Electric will be serving breakfast and lunch while our hosts get you ready for the game with the Ticket Tailgate pregame show. And best of all, it's all free. The Nebraska Northwestern Tailgate and Watch Party. August 27th, beginning at 9 a.m. right here in our parking lot at 330 North 48th Street. Brought to you by Ambition Electric and Skeeves Garage Doors.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
From selling a home to even building one, you're doing a lot and need a lender who can help you do it. Like Kelsey Fluhop of Security First Bank.
As a mortgage loan officer, I value my customers and work to make the mortgage process easy and even rewarding.
Mortgage lending from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 505011 and 1730635.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up.
Click it or ticket. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me in just a moment is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. But before I bring Andy on, I need to tell you about something that really got my attention. Just the other day, I saw on television Andy announcing that in the last 50 years, they had sold and serviced close to 100,000 vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, actually, the number would be a lot higher if we add in how many repeat customers we have for service and that come back to buy cars from us over and over and over again.
Now, Andy, tell everybody about your special offer.
Well, as most people know, always trade for vehicles, but now we're offering for people to come in and sell us their cars. We're ready to buy, bring it on in, whether it's a year old or a few years old, and we'll pay them cash that same day. It'll be hassle-free, and we'll do it the Honda of Lincoln way.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685. to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
It is time for Shootout with Strick here on the block on 93.7 The Ticket. Give us a call, 402-464-5685. It's a competitive call. So the first person to do so will get to jump in this game show and try to beat Strick in a shootout. If you do, you win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. If you lose, well, then Strick wins, of course. But third caller will get the $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings, which actually means if you lost the battle, you can just hang up and call again 3 times. And you might win. Of course, it's competitive, so somebody else might call. But you can jump back in line and try to win anyway. So we need a contestant for this game, 402-464-5685.
Or I win the ticket by default.
Or Strick just wins. And then we'll pull the car over and we'll never play a game again because you guys won't participate.
They're scared of the Stricky.
Just scared.
That's the kind of fear I put into the minds of my opponents.
You've been doing really well as of late.
I scare them. I look them in the face and I'm telling you, I'm like Macho Randy Savage, and I come to get him.
There you go. I like it. I think we do have a call. So we'll have a.
Who wants to take on the Macho Man?
Macho Man was great. Yeah,
Macho Man was a classic, wasn't he?
He was. Now the phones are lighting up. And I got an update on the Brent Venables situation, which is always interesting. The Oklahoma stuff. Real quick. Kat Gundy, daughter of Kel Gundy, snapped back at Brent Venables' statement I don't have to read it all because at this point it's getting kind of silly, but a since deleted tweet, the daughter of Kale Gunny now sticking up. So this thing could get even more interesting down the line. We do have JD on the line. JD, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Oh, not too bad. Thanks for calling in. Are you ready to play? It is today's trivia is about former Huskers in the NFL.
Yes, I am.
All right, don't Google anything because that's shitty.
Yeah, he's on. JD, get off the Google machine.
I won't.
All right. Yeah, we just gotta believe you. We gotta be fair here. All right, we'll get a Strick score first, then we'll head over to JD and then see who wins this thing. All right, Strick, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, we'll go in 3, 2,
Dos, uno.
Okay. Nate Gary, does he play for the 49ers or the Commanders?
49ers.
He actually plays for the Commanders. Deontay Williams, does he play for the Seahawks or the Broncos?
Broncos.
He actually plays for the Seahawks. Divine Ozigbo, does he play for the Saints or the Patriots?
Patriots.
He actually plays for the Saints. Let's go to Ben Stilley. Did he sign with the Browns or the Dolphins?
Dolphins.
He did sign for the Dolphins. And for 2 points, which AFC team is former Husker Rex Burkhead suiting up for now?
Patriots.
It is actually the Texans. We'll wait for the buzzer to sound.
The Texans.
The Texans, that's right.
All right, good answer.
Oh, there you go. Right.
Good
answer.
I got the punny. I right?
Yeah, let's add it up. Well, still 1 point. For some reason, that last one didn't go through. I would have given it to you, but it just didn't go through. I don't know. All right, so fairly.
Oh, this is a
fairly low score there.
Could it be a manic Monday? Ooh.
Hey, you never know. JD might have some bad luck here as well. JD, you just got to get 1 point for the tie, 2 to win. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, we'll go in 3, dos, and uno. Chris Jones, does he play for the Raiders or the Cardinals?
Cardinals.
He actually plays for the Raiders. Samori Toure, does he play for the Packers or the Vikings?
Packers.
That is correct. Andy Jandovich, does he play for the Browns or the Texans?
Browns.
He actually plays for the Texans. Lamar Jackson, does he play for the Jets or the Bears?
Bears.
He does play for the Bears. And which AFC team is former Husker Amir Abdullah suiting up for?
Gosh, used to be the Vikings. It's
Oh, there the buzzer sounds. Amir actually scored the first touchdown of the NFL preseason with the Raiders. But in any case, doesn't matter. You got 2 points. That doubles up Strick's points, and that makes you the winner of $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings today. JD,
boom shakalaka.
We will. Oh yeah, there you go. We better get those. And thanks for recreating that there.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah, we better get your other shout out in.
Give me a hell yeah.
Oh no!
I said, give me a hell yeah.
There you go, JD.
JD got on the Google machine. That's not
Oh,
even
you
fair,
think
bro.
you
He
only got
cheated.
2 points. In any case, JD,
Horrible for
you got the
Stricky.
chance now to take the high road and go ahead and get your chicken. You get the chicken either way. Or you can talk trash to Strick if you'd like.
Boom
I
shakalaka.
would not talk trash to Strick. Watch too many games. Thanks, buddy.
go.
My man, JD.
Wise
Yay.
decision. Wise decision.
Go get the chicken on Stricky.
There you go. So JD is the winner today of Shootout with Strick.
I
Kinda
did that on
fun.
purpose.
Did you?
I did that on purpose, Jake.
Oh, you were just being nice?
I was being nice.
Yeah, that's good thinking.
I knew all those answers.
How about these ones? Let's see if you know these ones. How many career catches does Stanley Morgan have in the NFL?
220.
Less. No, significantly
180.
less. 5.
Only 5?
Yeah, he's mostly special teams and
He was better than that.
no, not really.
Oh,
I
thought he was.
at least
I thought he
as
was good.
receptions go. He does. He plays. He's on the team, but he's mostly plays special teams. How about Sethan Carter? He's been. I don't know why I've made 2 tiebreakers. I just thought it was interesting.
15.
These are pretty low. Yeah, pretty lower than that even.
2.
He has 9 career catches. So each of those guys usually just get a few targets a year and
hey,
make the most out of it. But maybe they'll
special
get a step
teams.
up. Yeah.
Hey, listen, you can make a living on special teams these days.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think Sethan Carter is basically, what do they call it, the H back or whatever, fullback / tight end type of role. And Stanley, we'll see. Maybe he's worked his way.
Do they
into the
even use
rotation.
fullbacks these days?
Not really, not too much. That's
Poor
why Andy
fullbacks. They didn't
Janovich is one of the best fullbacks in the league. And that's why a lot of my questions are kind of trick questions because I used the former teams they played for.
Right.
He used to play for the Browns, but kind of just doesn't really, gets overlooked when he moves around.
Do they have any more Niles Paul type tight ends anymore?
I don't know.
Or is he kind of washed out?
Well, he
was winning. He was winning at the position down there with the Commanders.
Yeah, he just always had Jordan Reed in front of him and Vernon Davis. So there's
couldn't
no
really
room to play too much. But
Yeah.
when they got hurt, he actually was a pretty good fantasy pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Niles
I
Paul
used him.
back in the day. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's take a quick break here on the block. And when we return, we will play some of those sound bites from Eric Shenander today, getting you ready for Husker football season around the corner. Steve Sipple will join us, of course, of On 3 at 5:25. Also, we'll wrap up with the DeJounte Murray-Paulo Banchero feud that is going on over the weekend. If you don't know about it, we'll catch you up on that as well. That's all coming up next hour, the 5 o'clock hour, on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Cloud cover this morning should give way to partly sunny skies this afternoon. Much more comfortable. We'll top out at around 84. Winds turning out of the north-northeast at around 10. Overnight mainly clear with a low down to around 60. A seasonal day on the way for our Tuesday. Tomorrow's high around 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Swing for the fences with single game tickets to see Lincoln's best lineup on and off the diamond. The Salt Dog season is stacked with reasons to spend your summer at Haymarket Park. Get a free general admission ticket when you donate 3 non-perishable food items on Triple Play Tuesdays. Eat $2 Fairbury brand dogs on Wiener Wednesdays. Score drink specials on Thirsty Thursdays. Then win your weekend with Firework Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days presented by Casey's. Get tickets at saltdogs.com.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up.
Click it or ticket. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken lips. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
At
venue, catering, and events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for 3! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Ortega connoisseur, Jake Bakoven.
I like Ortega and I like pepper.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach.
We're back on the block. All the blockheads out there, thank you for tuning in. Always, well, not always, but for now, 4 to 6 on the block.
Whenever you can.
Whenever you can.
You can podcast us.
That's right. You can always go to YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Facebook, or any of those. 93.7 The Ticket FM app. Also, you can find us there. Great lineups always available to you. But a lot of news. We always come off the weekend, and there's just so much you can tap in on. But the stories of the day is interesting as we have Shenander bites.
Yes.
We have a lot of information that is popping out, jumping out of the Nebraska practice continues as they close in on an end-of-the-month date with the Northwestern Wildcats. So it's going to be an exciting few more weeks before they find their way on a plane across the Atlantic Ocean to land there in Dublin, Ireland. And there's going to be a game that's going to happen. And Shenander has some information that he wanted to share with us. And we have Shenander bites. We have notes and different information that's coming out of the practice facility. Tell us about it, Bach.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to go through here. A lot of different players from Shenander that he talked about. Of course, the defensive coordinator for Nebraska. Let's start with a name that maybe we didn't expect to get so much playing time, but is really seems to be a guy that's making his move there on the line. It's Colton Feist. Excuse me, sorry. Well, let's get that moved up here. It's Colton Feist.
Colton Feist is a guy that came in here as a kind of a walk-on guy that not many people outside the program knew about, and he's just worked, and he's put himself in a position to play a ton of snaps this year, whether he gets to be a starter or whether he's the first guy in the rotation. He's done an unbelievable job with technique. He's a powerful guy. You know, he knows what's going on. He has good anticipation of the game, and he can really run for a big guy. He's playing on some special teams for us as well.
So there you have it, Colton Feist.
What a great name.
We're all still learning his name, yeah.
What a great name.
You like that name?
Big fella in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to feast, baby.
There you go.
Let's get in there and have a feast. Man, I would, if I'm anybody right now that has the big restaurant with the big burgers or the big chicken or the big feast, baby.
Yes.
I'm UIL-ing them till I can't UIL them no more.
And of course, he's from Newton, Nebraska. You don't we haven't heard too much of him. He's a walk-on, 6'2", 275.
275.
Number 82. I always like that when the walk-ons have obscure numbers. 82, kind of a weird one on the defensive line.
Yeah, that's
not a defensive line's number, but we'll definitely take it. And he's moving his way. Kind of had a few injuries to deal with last year, but was able to play in limited action here. But has really done well. What you hear about him is basically very good, technically sound, and it's interesting too because you kind of think about him battling, as well as some other guys there in the interior defensive line. Especially think about Stephon Wynn, of course, the Alabama transfer. You think about the Polar Bear, Nash Hutmacher, as he's making his move, and Ty Robinson.
What are they saying about Hutmacher? But go ahead.
Ty
Robinson.
Well, I'm just saying the one thing that is another name that comes up is Devin Drew, who we're still waiting on, still not on campus. And you start to think, because Shenander did say this, I don't know if we have it in the bite, but I'll talk about it here in a second, is that it seems like Nash Hutmacher's a little bit further along of Stephon Wynn. He can't wait till Stephon Wynn catches up because he thinks that, like, physically they're close, as far as playability and all that stuff. But Hutmacher's just a little bit more seasoned with the defense.
Yeah.
Devin Drew, guy that a lot of us penciled in at starter, he's going to be pretty far behind, you would think. So it might take, he might be a 3, 4, 5 games in before you kind of see the true Devin Drew, or the ultimate, the prime Devin Drew that we'd like to see. Does that concern you at all that you might, that you're talking about a line with not a whole lot of depth, but now with Feast kind of stepping up, maybe you're adding to it.
Well, see, and that's the thing. I think the schedule bodes well from them. Because what you're not going to get out of Northwestern is they're not going to pound you. They're going to be creative in the way that they run. Probably counters, some screens, in very West Coast style, I'm sure, because they don't feel that they're probably going to have enough time to be able to hold the ball and get stuff downfield. They're going to try to run it. That's definitely one of the things that they're going to try to do. But if you can shut that down, then you maybe won't have to work as hard. If you can get off the field, those are going to be key components to the Northwestern game, is getting off the field.
Oh, yeah.
When it's third down and you've got them in 3rd and 7s and, 3rd and 8s, even 3rd and 6s, you've got to be on your P's and Q's. You rear your ears back, cut off lanes, but don't allow them to just get space, man. Throw something at them to make that thing come out of the hand a little bit quicker so that the DBs can make plays. I think that was a problem for the DBs in the past too, is that sometimes the balls would come out, they would have them short, but they couldn't make the tackle to finalize it and get them off. So hopefully they'll tackle a little bit better. But yeah, man, I think there's some opportunities there. The schedule works perfectly for them to be able to get those guys up to speed, get them some reps, get them on the field, and then see how it pans out for them. I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll continue this talk with the defensive line, but it's kind of interesting. You brought up, Ryan Helinski and how much he threw the ball around. We're kind of talking about it earlier. They were on Old School with Jay and DP about how Nebraska got Northwestern last year so off their game plan. Northwestern's a team that wants to run and grind on you, and they've got a stable of backs to do so. But they didn't run for much at all because they were down 21-0 right away. Yeah. Ryan Helinski's not going to pass you to get back in the game. So we'll see with that. A couple other notes real quick with that, and I bring it up once in a while, is Brendan Sullivan, a freshman, might beat out Ryan Helinski. A lot of people in Northwestern are pretty high on him, and he's got some legs. So that could be something with these defensive linemen chasing him down might be interesting. If not, if Helinski does start and Nebraska does win, then it would be the first quarterback that Scott Frost has beaten twice in his time at Nebraska. Meanwhile, Minnesota's quarterback is going for his 4th win against Nebraska. So we know it hasn't gone well in the coaching matchups, but then when you kind of break it down to quarterback, that doesn't help either. But you asked about Nash Hutmacher. Coach Chen talked about him as well today.
You guys see the videos. He's always had a lot of strength, a lot of power. Nash's lateral movement, his quickness, his change of direction has drastically increased over the last, probably since the season stopped till now. So that's what I'm really pleased with what he's done. Just his ability to move around a little bit better. Before it was just, if you were in one gap or in a 2-gap mode, he was good. If he's getting on the move and doing those types of things, probably wasn't the right defense for him. Now he's able to operate in all the calls.
So there you go. A little bit more versatility and movement from Nash Hutmacher, and that's good to hear. You talk about a big guy, 6'4", 330 pounds, kind of known as the Polar Bear. You don't get that nickname if you're not a big guy. I would say a little bit untested, I suppose, on the line. You saw him appear in a few games last year, didn't get a tackle, but a guy, at least the body size, that could
space gripe.
Yeah, make up for kind of Damian Daniels and losing him. Of course, I think he'd be their lone guy if they do play. We're kind of all figuring they're moving to the 4-3 because Damian Daniels was a central part of the 3-4.
Yeah.
And then, how much of that did they play anyway? They kind of moved toward the 4-3 anyway. I think it would be your only nose tackle that would be ready to go. But, if you're playing 4-3, you can kind of do the defensive tackle thing. I would say with him, might be a starter this year. So you need to see more versatility out of him. And we're excited to finally see his career get going. And he's had that nickname that people like for a long time. But as with most defensive linemen, it takes a little bit of time to get, physically ready to play Big Ten football with these guys.
Well, while we're talking about the defensive line right now, I mean, there's some conversations that are going on with regard to the change of the name of the edge rushers. They're talking about the abilities of moving Garrett around and Caleb around, shifting them, not allowing people to lock in and figure that out. And then also trying to figure out where O'Shawn Mathis finds himself lined up at as well and what those combinations are going to be. So what is the thoughts on that? Did Shenander have a conversation about that?
On what? Sorry, I was looking at the text line.
Oh.
Say that again.
Yeah,
sorry.
did they have any Shenander notes on that with regards to the ends and Garrett and
Oh yeah. Here's Shenander talking about moving Garrett and Caleb around.
Yeah, right now I think that he's kind of playing one spot on the defensive end for us. I think because of the knowledge of the system, we've been moving Garrett and Caleb just a little bit more around to make some of those packages. And I think O'Shawn's a really good edge rusher, so we want to give him, as many opportunities as we can to get him on the edge.
So that is interesting. Garrett and Caleb more moving around than O'Shawn at this point, who's their dedicated edge rusher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to hear. It's good to know. So that way, when we're looking at it, we're not going to be looking crazy at what's going on. Yeah, surprise.
But O'Shawn's a guy that you kind of figured, I guess I figured anyways, would be like a guy that if you move him around, you give the offensive line some fits, as opposed to kind of lining up with one guy, see if he's got the edge that day, and try to get over. That doesn't mean they're not going to do it. Maybe they're just trying to establish that. But the other thing, the other thing too is with Garrett and Caleb, they're kind of you don't want to call them tweeners, but they are like they're kind of moving into this edge realm, right? Where and again, it doesn't mean anything on the field for them, but do you put them at outside linebacker? Who's going to play that? Who's going to play defensive end, as opposed to what is just edge in general? That's kind of interesting how that's going on there. I'll play again. Thoughts on O'Shawn Mathis and where he's lining up?
Yeah, that O'Shawn's done a great job. I thought O'Shawn had a really good scrimmage. He's different structured defense for him. He was off the ball a lot last year, it seemed. So he's had to play a little bit more, true defensive end for us, which he's done a great job responding to Coach Dawson. He's picked up everything. He's really a big time effort guy, and he showed up yesterday at the scrimmage. So it's really nice to have, guys on the edge. You already have Caleb and Garrett. Now you throw O'Shawn in the mix, and then Jamari Butler and Blaze Gunnarsson have had tremendous camps as well. So that's going to be really good to have a good rotation on that edge.
And there you hear again, Coach Shenander today after practice, defensive coordinator for Nebraska, talking about O'Shawn Mathis and his involvement on that defensive line in that edge pass rush situation. And they feel good about it. I mean, they talked about, you could hear the names that he threw out there, and you just feel like O'Shawn, and you've heard it from him, has kind of raised that bar. Like they're solid edge rushers. They have a nice pass rushing crew all together.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you kind of throw the guy in there that draws the defense or draws the offense's attention, that helps elevate those other guys. So playing more of that true defensive end role, that's interesting. Because part of it's just kind of who has the size. You got to be pretty good if you're going to be in that position against the run. So it's not all just about O'Shawn and getting him sacks. It's what's the best for this team and what's best to defend the run as well. Because in the Big Ten West, it's great to get some sacks, and I hope Nebraska does. But it's going to be more of a battle of stopping the run than it is attacking the passer. I think they've naturally kind of got that figured out. Now the next step is stopping that run.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a key component. They have to be able to, early in the downs, very much so get stops. I mean, no more than 2 to 3 yards. They've really got to close up the space. They've got to work down the line. They've got to keep in their lanes so that they don't provide cutbacks and all of those different. It's got to be a collective effort. I mean, everybody's got to be downhill. You remember those old teams, man, that it didn't matter where the ball was at. You had 6 people on it.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't one guy just making
Group
it. You don't want to just,
tackling,
group tackling. You don't want to just rely on Reimer and the linebacker core to just have to go and make the play or safeties to have to come down and fill. You want to be able to have that whole front just close lanes down and make things happen. And then you'll allow Sean Mathis at his best to be able to hit the edge and do what he does well and that he's used to. And that's pinning his ears back and getting in around the edge and taking advantage of a tackle and getting to the ball. So those are the things that they've got to do, and it's going to be important to be able to stop the run this year, no doubt.
Well, and I do feel good, too. When we talk about stopping the run, I think that's probably the biggest concern with the defense. They have a brand new secondary, so you can kind of throw pass defense in there as well, but you kind of feel with the pass rush that they've upgraded, and that, and you feel pretty good about Tommy Hill. We're getting to here in a second, some of the pieces that they added to that secondary as well. But that rush defense, especially in the Big Ten, is what's going to need the most attention. Last year, for what it's worth, only gave up more than 200 yards twice. Once in the Michigan game, and then of course annually to Wisconsin. So they're going to have to figure that out. And again, you're going to need some guys to step up in an interior defensive line, especially with Devin Drew not getting to campus quite yet. So let's get more on Eric Shenander here talking about the competition at the interior defensive line spot.
Yeah, those guys are both competing. I think Nash has got a little better grasp of maybe the system. He can play a little faster. Stefan's still picking it up a little bit. Both those guys play with good technique. Both those guys are
sorry, I cut off there.
Intelligent football players. That's going to be kind of a good battle to watch here as the next couple weeks of camp unfold and we get into another scrimmage, just to kind of see once they're, kind of equals with knowledge and grasp of what's going on, who's going to jump out and take that spot.
That's fascinating. Because it sounds like Ty Robinson's got a spot then, which you expected. He's kind of like the only guy left on the defensive line once everybody transferred, and then they had to restock the room. Of course, now we know, Nash Hutmacher and Colton Feast were in their room and are going to compete to start. But expect a lot of playing from those guys either way as you rotate bodies. And that's something Barrett Ruud talked about the other day too with the linebackers as we're talking about stopping the run, is that, he thought he might have overplayed Nick Henrich and Luke Reimer a little bit. Getting a little bit more of a rotation out there might help. But with those guys up front, I think to my point earlier is what I was trying to say is that at least with stopping the run, you feel like the second level is built. It's ready to roll with Luke Reimer and Nick Henrich. It's just that first level. And is it going to be as good as all those guys that you had to replace last year? Sometimes I think we forget, Ben Stilley and Deontay Thomas and Damian Daniels and, there's more. I mean, there's more guys that you left off the list that all were part of that rotation last year. So it's a brand new group up front to stop these rushing attacks in the Big Ten, which usually are going to win the games ultimately. So let's get to a little bit more of Shenander here. Has anyone separated themselves in competition?
I don't think so. Like I said, I think there's a couple guys that maybe kind of pulled themselves away and solidified their spot, and there's still a lot of competition. At every position we had, at least 3 corners rotating with ones, 3 safeties, 3 nickels, 3 inside backers, and I think a couple guys at every position kind of cleared their way, but there's still a lot of fight. There's still a lot of camp left.
So there you have it. That's interesting. When you kind of break down each one of those, like 3 inside backers. I figured, like I just said, who your inside backers were. But if there's a guy stepping up, you don't leave him off the field. You don't leave him out of the rotation. I'm still fairly certain those guys will start, but like that's what I was just talking about. Maybe get more of a rotation of guys that you can trust in there. And certainly this. And we'll see. We don't know how they hand out the black shirts. Typically with Frost, they've done it preseason. Another thing, by the way, where's the alternate uniform? So usually that helps us a show or two in the summer. Haven't had any talk there. But there is always the question about the black shirts. But I wouldn't be surprised to see guys earn the black shirt throughout the year that weren't starters at the beginning. The starting depth chart change just because you have so many new guys trying to adjust and different levels of competition. Mistakes will be made. Other guys will kind of learn the defense at a different pace. You kind of think of the past. I think especially of like a DeJon Gomes with that 2009 defense where like at the start of the year he was hardly playing, and by the end of the year he was a difference maker. He's part of like the peso defense that they structured their next year's defense around. So we'll see. I think it's going to take a few guys. I unfortunately, just because Devin Drew hasn't been here, I think he's going to be one of those guys that's going to come along with. That's going to give the other guys opportunities. And like you said, the schedule's at least built for them to grow better and get better at that point. One more from Shenander about the defensive
Real quick,
line.
though,
Go ahead.
I want to just talk about the just the depth, the increase of the depth of knowing that those individuals that are going to come behind them are going to fill in. Your feast type guys, that they're very aware, they're technically sound, and you don't have to worry about too much of a letdown because you're going to get something. And when you're seeing that across the board, that you don't have that letdown in the depth department, like if there's an injury or somebody just is tired and you need to fill that gap, that you don't have to worry about too much slippage at the positions. And I'm seeing that it looks like a lot more people are carrying a lot more depth that's going to allow them to continue to maintain a good, strong pace.
Yeah, and it's kind of, you got to kind of find a middle there too, because you want to have separation among your starters.
Yeah.
Just so that you've got guys and you can't just throw anybody out there. You've got guys that are developing and becoming all conference type of guys or trying, gearing toward that. So that's kind of interesting. That's kind of how I've kind of read the secondaries. They've kind of talked throughout the offseason. It's like, we've got all these guys that we could throw in there. It's like, well, that's good. Is that good? Is that bad? You sure want to see it as good competition, but at some point you need somebody to stand out and to start to become a leaders. And I think at least on the defensive side, you feel like they've certainly got plenty of guys that are hitting their stride. And so there's a lot. I know it's defensive day and maybe it's just that feeling, but for the black shirts, but we kind of, just talking around to media members and stuff, a lot of people feel, this defense might be the strength of the team, especially early on. You might have to lean on that a little bit. And I think that they've got the veteran experience for that. Quickly,
real quick, also, Sutter Heyman text line and the Honda Lincoln hotline are always open to you. 402-464-5685. If you want to jump into the discussion, you are always welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get one more quote from Shenander before we do hit the text line for a little bit. Coach Shenander talking about Tommy Hill, another guy that maybe could start at corner, maybe not right away, but certainly we've heard has the physical abilities to do so. Here's Shenander on Tommy Hill learning the language.
Yeah, Tommy, every day he flashes. Every day he makes a great play. Tommy's just got to be a little bit more consistent. Some of that's being new to the program, new to the system, but a little more consistency with him. But he definitely flashes, and you can definitely see what the ceiling is there.
Well, there you have it. I mean, and he is a guy that people feel maybe some of the top as far as a prospect goes could be one of those guys down the line. Maybe some corners are like that. Some of them are more flash, go for the pick, go for the big play, not as consistent as a lockdown corner. Maybe that's who he is, or maybe it's just new to the defense. So you're flashing because, hey, I know what I'm doing here. And then other times it's what is this? What do I do here? Right. So we'll kind of see how that turns out for them. Again, as Strick said, you can talk to us at any time here. Call in on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685, or the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. Wet Blanket, who, thanks again, brought in some Chick-fil-A for Nick earlier because he was pretty hungry. And I ate a few of those chicken nuggets as well.
They were pretty tasty.
But Wet Blanket says this report should cause panic. You can win with walk-on tight ends, interior offensive linemen, and inside linebackers. You can't win with walk-on cornerbacks, corners, edge rushers, offensive tackles, and defensive linemen. The NFL doesn't pay millions for guys to play those positions in free agency. If you can effort yourself into those positions, at times the walk-ons can be, walk-ons getting playing time can cause a little bit of frustration or worry from the fans. And other times they're better than scholarship players. Like, they take over. They should have been offered a scholarship. We'll see how kind of that plays out with Colton Feast. And you can kind of come up with your own opinions, I suppose. Yeah, Luke Reimer's a guy started as a walk-on. I would think is the best player on the team right now.
Watch out. That's what I'm saying.
So it could be that
I was
case.
A walk-on.
Well, you were a fake walk-on.
Okay.
You're a walk-on because you were already a pro athlete. As in baseball, so that's a little bit different. But like you like to say, probably the best walk-on basketball player ever at the University of Nebraska.
Man, hey, there's got to be a debate.
Hey,
is there a debate? 402-464-5685. Who's the best walk-on in Nebraska basketball?
Paul Verlander was one of my favorites, but I don't know if he quite measures up to you. What do you think about that? An important, he kind of played out the certain positions that you're not feeling too comfortable with, but Colton Feast, I suppose that's kind of the report he's kind of talking about. Does that cause you any concern? At least, at some point you needed somebody to step up to provide depth on the D-line.
I think there's going to be people that surprise you. I think the Nebraska program is built that way for you to come in, if you take it by the bootstraps, strap it up, get in it, banging, put your effort, I don't know if that came out, but yes, put in the work. If you put in the time and put in the work, you will get an opportunity to be able to exert yourself into the mix. I really think that that's how the program has been built. And because I don't think they just look at just who you are star-wise. I think they actually have gotten back to seeing who is actually competing, who is actually fighting for it, who actually wants it, who is consistent. And I think those things are starting to emerge now like they haven't before.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or they did before, but
yeah,
trying to get back around to it.
Yeah, can't wait for football season. Again, 3 Mondays from now, we'll be wrapping up talking about Nebraska having beaten down Northwestern and Ireland. At least that's the hope. And I'm sure that's hope from Steve Sipple, of course, of On3 Sports. He's set to join us here around the break. So we'll catch up with Sip about some of the practice stuff, some of the Husker football stuff going on. That's coming up next here on The Block on 93.7 The Ticket.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Cloud cover this morning should give way to partly sunny skies this afternoon. Much more comfortable. We'll top out at around 84. Winds turning out of the north-northeast at around 10. Overnight mainly clear with a low down to around 60. A seasonable day on the way for our Tuesday. Tomorrow's high around 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Local broadcasters make a difference in their communities every day. You can learn more about becoming a broadcaster by attending the Lincoln Area Broadcasters Career Fair with 93.7 The Ticket on Tuesday, August 9th at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. Learn more about the numerous exciting jobs in broadcasting available right now here in town, on the air and behind the scenes. Bring your resume and be ready to apply. Visit the 93.7 The Ticket booth at the Lincoln Area Broadcasters Job Fair Tuesday, August 9th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. We'll see you there.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the block on 93.7 The Ticket, and we're happy at this time to be joined by Steve Sipple of On3. Talk some Husker football. Of course, Eric Shenander and a couple defensive players talked to the media today. So we'll go ahead and bring Sip on. Sip, how are you doing this afternoon? Can you hear us? Are you there, Sip?
No, Sip.
No, Sip. That's weird. I just
Sip disappeared.
He did. We did. Got some button or something going on there. I just talked to him in the other room. So I don't know what happened. Whiskey? I don't know. So we got Sorensen over there. He's going to give him another call. So we'll get into that. Steve Sipple of On3 Sports set to join us here in just a second. It's
maybe I've told him too much. Maybe I've told him shut up, Sipple, too much, and he didn't want to come on no more.
That could be. It might be that he just doesn't like one of us. Maybe that's that's the case. In the meantime, real quick, Kevin Durant. Apparently with a meeting with the Nets owner, and he basically pitted the Nets owner. I said, it's Durant, it's me, or you got to get rid of Sean Marks, the GM, and Coach Steve Nash. So some spicy stuff in the latest of the Durant stuff. But I believe we do have Steve Sipple of On3 Sports now joining us. Sip, how are you doing this afternoon?
Durant saying they got to get rid of GM and Nash.
That is that's the latest reports, yeah, and the never-ending feud, I suppose, with the Nets and their own players.
He's not feeling Steve nasty.
He must be losing his mind.
He's not feeling nasty.
Yeah, he is actually.
Well, Nash was a weird choice to begin with. He never had any coaching experience.
He was he had worked with him when he was in Golden State. That's kind of where the relationship was built, and it was kind of one of those comfort things, and that's kind of how it started. But yeah, Nash—he's been out-coached a little bit, it looks like, in some of these situations. So, yeah, Sip, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fascinating that Durant would take that step. I'm really surprised by that.
Yeah, it's a strange world in the NBA and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and the Nets. So we'll continue to follow that. Of course, most of us are really excited about Husker football around the corner, and we're getting news out of camp and different guys talking every day. What was the biggest thing that kind of stood out with you with Eric Shenander and the defensive players today?
It was what Nick Hendricks said about the running backs. He said it was a good scrimmage, specifically the running backs and how hard they ran and how hard they hit gaps. And I've said I believe that's going to be the strongest that room's been in Scott's tenure. I really like that group of guys. They had a good spring and they've carried it into summer. I just like that picture, especially the top four. And I don't know what order, but I think Grant's going to be one or two. Anthony Grant's going to be one or two. And I don't know. I mean, Ramir could challenge him, Jaquez could challenge him, or Gabe Irvin could challenge him. Or maybe one of those four guys, maybe one of those three guys tops him. But Grant will be one or two. And A.J. Allen has had a good camp as a freshman. So I kind of I thought Nick Hendrich's comments about the running backs were the most interesting thing.
Do you have any fear of, and I think we've seen this at times, maybe being too good at that position and trying to rotate and not letting guys kind of get into a rhythm? Because especially with the depth this year, I don't know if nobody's separating, maybe you do just try to get the guys in and out and keep fresh legs in there, but you're never letting anybody really get into rhythm.
Oh, I think that's a viable question. I mean, I think it's a good question, Bach. I wonder about that. I know, or I've talked to Irvin. I talked to Gabe this summer, and he's definitely a guy who is he'll call himself a rhythm runner. And sometimes those rhythm runners need to find a rhythm, right? And I always say this about Gabe Irvin, but it goes perfectly with your question. It was the Oklahoma game last year, which was that third game or fourth game where I could see him. I saw him finding rhythm. I was telling the guys, Gabe Irvin's settling in. Now it's a little ways into the season, but I can see it. I could see him as a running back finding it. And on the play he hurt his knee, he was going for 50. That was a 50-yard run, and he hurt his knee. And I talked to him this summer about it. He said I absolutely was finding my rhythm. I settled in, and I felt pretty good for the first time that season. So that's the first time that season, Bach. You're right. Some of those guys need a few carries to get rolling. And I don't know how that'll look. Somebody's going to get aced out. I mean, you only have one ball. There's going to be a good running back watching. Now, on the other hand, like Brian Applewhite said the other day, it's not a matter if a running back goes down, it's when a running back goes down. So there'll be opportunity. But, man, I'll tell you what, I always remember these long discussions with Ron Brown when Nebraska was going well. Even when Nebraska was going well, they had issues in the running back room with only having one ball and a bunch of talent in there. It never came to light because they were playing pretty well winning. But Ron always would talk about that challenge, Bob. So I think it's a challenge. I mean, I think Applewhite will have to navigate that.
So, Sip, here's one thing. When you're looking at the defensive line in the front, what do you think or expect for them to be able to do, knowing that they don't even have their full set on campus yet? But what do you think they're going to be able to do to really show that they're staunch in the interior this year? Do they gotta kind of mix and match? They got to do a lot of stunning. Do you think they're just going to be able to handle man-to-man combat?
That's a good question. I have to see what it looks like before I kind of formulate opinion on how to handle it schematically. Nash Hutmacher is a big unknown. I mean, he's played 2 years. I think he's been in 12 games, but he hasn't made a tackle. And his next tackle will be his first tackle. Stephon Wynn is in that conversation, and I don't know what that's going to look like. I have a feeling it's going to look pretty good, but he had I don't know, he played in 21 games with Alabama and had 16 tackles. So he's a backup. He was a reserve at Alabama. Never rose to be a front line player. Colton Feast is a pretty big unknown too. Played in 8 games last year, but he was hurt a lot. I mean, he was hurt for 4, and I don't think he was ever quite right in that season. And now he's right. And you know what? He's a guy that gets overlooked. I mean, I know this. If they put out a depth chart going into preseason camp, he would have been on the 1 line. They have him on the 1 line right now. Now, Devin Drew, Devin Drew's going to come in and push him whenever Drew gets here. I think Devin Drew will be practicing by the end of the week. If not, I think Friday at the latest. So I don't know. I don't know what that's going to look like in there. They don't have. I think the depth is a little shaky still. But they fortified it pretty well with Wynn and Drew, but it's still not problem. It's still a little. That's the biggest concern I have. I mean, are they going to be able to stop the run? Because why do I say that? Here's why. Because I know this. If I'm Pat Fitzgerald and I start figuring out Nebraska a little bit through what I read and what I see on video of Garrett Nelson, Tanner, and O'Shawn Mathis, I'm going full bore in my running game to negate those guys. Just take them out of it. I mean, and I mean an inside running game. And there's teams in the Big Ten that can do that. I don't know if Northwestern can, but that's what I would try.
That's interesting. I'm glad you brought up Devin Drew. We had a question early on the text line. I think, at least for depth reasons, you do it either way. But do you think they anticipated this kind of taking a little bit to get here? And if they didn't, do you think that they would, they're still happy with their scholarship distribution there?
What's today? The 8th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought it would be the 4th or the 5th is what I was led to believe. So I think it's a few days later than they anticipated. I would only start to feel uncomfortable if I were them if it got past Friday. If he can get here by Friday, and I'm not. Now here's the thing. I think what's happened is I just can't believe that he would be ready to play more than 6 to 10 snaps at Dublin, if that many. Now that's what's happened. I thought if he could get to camp, he could get ready and be ready for that Dublin trip and be a key rotational player. I don't know. Not now. I think it'll be tough for him. It's one thing to be in shape. It's another to be in football shape, and that's what will tell the tale. If he's in sort of football shape, I just don't know how you get in football shape without doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to find out. Maybe he comes to camp rolling. I mean, maybe he had the playbook. Maybe he's in enormously good shape and he settles right in. But I'll tell you something, Colton Feast, it'll be hard for him just to jump that. I mean, he's a good player.
And one final question for you. We brought it to the text line earlier, and they nominated you. We said, who's going to take over for Lee Corso on College Game Day one day? Do you think you could put on some of the headgear and get people going?
Well, what they do? Just pick the oldest guy in the room, basically.
You got a nice fan base, Sip.
They just pick the most addled guy, the guy that's most likely to drop a curse word on air.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No. I'm not doing that. Although, yeah, if they asked me to do it, and they, I think the pay would be. I think it'd be better than I'm making right now.
I think Lee Corso makes some good money. If you did have to choose the Huskers, what do you think? You just choose a giant? Would you just put on a big hat, one of like Herbie's hat, or would you actually get his head?
I would put the head on.
The whole head, yeah.
I would love to put that head on.
Yeah,
I would.
Have you ever been a mascot? I kind of wanted to be a mascot when I was younger.
No, I've never wanted to be a mascot. It creeps me out, and I think it'd be really hot in that. I'm sort of claustrophobic anyway, so no.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Well, thanks again for your time, Sip, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you next Monday, hopefully.
I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you later.
All right,
man.
Thank you. There he goes. Steve Sipple of On3. Never wants to be a mascot. Did you ever had? I mean, you were pretty athletic. You never had to really think too much about being a mascot. Did you ever want to?
I would have thought that would have been pretty fun. Like when I was with Dallas, we had a guy called the Mavs Man.
Oh yeah,
who used
Mavs
to
Man.
do all the fun tricks and jumping and leaping. And he could actually dunk for real. Like he would really go up and do regular dunks.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I used to think, just to be able to operate behind the mask.
Nobody knows who you are.
Nobody knows who you are. I think that's always you become a new character. I think that'd be pretty fun.
I always thought so too. What was your favorite mascot from your days? You think in the NBA? Was it Mavs Man probably?
Man, I can't really say I had a favorite. I think Thunder was pretty cool for Golden State.
Oh yeah,
he was
pretty cool.
Real
wasn't
rock
he?
Diesel with the little charge hat on. Yeah, he was pretty cool.
I always like Benny the Bull of the Bulls. He usually is out there tossing people's popcorn around. And,
big chubs. Yeah, Benny the Bull.
Speaking of the NBA, let's jump into that. DeJounte Murray is welcoming Paulo Banchero into the league, and they already have a feud. We'll jump into that next here on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm ahead of my time, sometimes years out, so the powers that be won't let me get my ideas out, and that make me want to get my...
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben sandwich or the prime rib French dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Yo, it's the captain, Rashawn Jackson. Join me this Wednesday at Wingstop at 50th and O Street from 11 to 2 for Husker Sports Talk and, most importantly, wings. That's Wednesday at Wingstop at 50th and O Street, the official sponsor of the captain. Order wings ahead at wingstop.com. See you there.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me in just a moment is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. But before I bring Andy on, I need to tell you about something that really got my attention. Just the other day, I saw on television Andy announcing that in the last 50 years, they had sold and serviced close to 100,000 vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, actually, the number would be a lot higher if we add in how many repeat customers we have for service and that come back to buy cars from us over and over and over again.
Now, Andy, tell everybody about your special offer.
Well, as most people know, always trade for vehicles. But now we're offering for people to come in and sell us their cars. We're ready to bring it on in, whether it's a year old or a few years old, and we'll pay them cash that same day. It'll be hassle-free, and we'll do it the Honda of Lincoln way.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Swing for the fences with single-game tickets to see Lincoln's best lineup on and off the diamond. The Salt Dog season is stacked with reasons to spend your summer at Haymarket Park. Get a free general admission ticket when you donate 3 non-perishable food items on Triple Play Tuesdays. Eat $2 Fairbury brand dogs on Wiener Wednesdays. Score drink specials on Thirsty Thursdays. Then win your weekend with Firework Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days presented by Casey's. Get tickets at saltdogs.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Cloud cover this morning should give way to partly sunny skies this afternoon. Much more comfortable. We'll top out at around 84. Winds turning out of the north-northeast at around 10. Overnight mainly clear with a low down to around 60. A seasonable day on the way for our Tuesday. Tomorrow's high around 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the block here on a Monday, and we've got a new Nebraska football player to tell you about. Yeah, this close to kickoff, Nebraska's added a defensive back, Brandon Moore, who's in his 6th year, actually a former starter at UCF, played for Travis Fisher at UCF all the way back in 2017, sat out last year, so an older guy, a 6th-year guy, and Brandon Moore tore his ACL in 2019, transferred to FSU, never really got things rolling there, but a little extra depth for Nebraska in the backfield. Can't say that I expect too much out of him. I of course, I don't know much about him other than what I just read, but it's pretty late in the process to be adding a guy, but at least adding some depth there. It's interesting. A former relationship, obviously, probably developed there with having Travis Fisher and Scott Frost having coached him before.
I think, I mean, you know the guy. So obviously there's some familiarity there. He's probably, it's going to be behind.
Yeah.
Late in the game, can he catch up? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough that late. I mean, not unless you just are just totally dominating the competition. There's not many more scrimmages left. I mean, what can you really do? Unless injury probably pops up and then but they're pretty deep at the DB position. That's the part that, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll see if Brandon Moore gets on the field. At least he's a Husker, so that will be fun. Also, what I thought was kind of fun over the weekend, DeJounte Murray, who obviously just got his big deal, or traded actually to the Hawks, was a all-star last year for the first time in his career. He ended up feuding with the rookie sensation and first overall pick, Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic over the weekend. They played at Isaiah Thomas's Zeke End basketball tournament out in Seattle, near Seattle in Washington, where a lot of these guys are from. At one point, Murray faked out Banchero, then threw it off the backboard and slammed on him. And that started some jawing back and forth between the guys, running into each other. And it hasn't stopped. They've been feuding on Instagram ever since. Seems like Murray believes that Banchero, I mean, at least he was recorded as saying, it's a man's league. He's a little boy. He's too soft.
And see, that's the thing. Let's be real. There's a lot of talent that comes out of that northwest region. I mean, you can look at Jay Crossover, Jamal Crawford, go down to Zach Levine, very athletic, get buckets. Those guys out there get buckets for some reason out of that northwest region. Nate Robinson, Isaiah Thomas, unsung hero types, young, small. You notice those two. Brandon Roy, one of the biggest what ifs. Like if his no injuries, really, he was a
5-tool player.
He was a get bucket man. Jason Terry, longtime history to Jet. Doug Christie, a lot of people don't know Doug Christie came out of that area as well. Go down DeJounte Murray, Kevin Porter, and then you get into some little. But yeah, listen, they put guys in the league, and they've got a really tough summer league that's up there. And a lot of guys get a chance to play up there. I've even seen Jason Williams go up there and play. A lot of guys get up in that area, so they put guys out, and to see the competition, what it is DeJounte feels he was overlooked. He feels that. Banchero was
not having that problem.
That's that chip on the shoulder type stuff, and so he's trying to prove it, on the court.
Does that happen often with the highly drafted rookies? Maybe get a little bit more from the veterans.
You get a little bit more of that smoke.
Yeah,
you get a little bit more of that smoke.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's welcome to the league. That'll be kind of fun. Even before playing his first game in the league, he's already got the ire of some of the veterans. All right, well, that'll wrap it up for On the Block on a Monday. Of course, we got the rest of the week to break down Husker football. Like I said, a few weeks from now, we'll be talking about the results of Nebraska and Northwestern. We just got to get there, and plenty of fall camp to break down. Until then, football going to be on for the rest of the weekends from here on out to the end of the year. So that'll be beautiful. That'll wrap it up for On the Block. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have an excellent weeknight, an excellent Monday night.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV